Well, evening, guys. It's a little after 10 in the evening. It's Tuesday still, the 29th of March. And it's still, we were a zombie over in Rosemead, California. What's going on, guys? Not much has been happening. Not much. Trying to stay away from the depression as much as possible. It tries to keep back at me. But every once in a while, you have to chase it off with little cowboy music sometimes. And I'm talking about the old school. As I was growing up, my brother and I had watched quite a few times of Smokey and the Bandit. Came on cable right after the theatrical release. And we'd listen to the music. A few years later, when it came out with the Bandit 2, it's those country artists on there, the old timers that would stick with you, not the ones of the times, but the ones that have been doing the yodeling back in the 40s, 50s, 60s. One of which my brother had watched. He'd watched the old films, and he'd listened to the Sons of the Pioneer. I've been toying around, maybe with an opening theme, just to get it going. Some people like to have happiness about it. I don't know. What do you think about this one? So let's see if I can get this thing going here.
Watch trucking tutorials without Wi-Fi and jam uninterrupted.
Without the commercials. I just wanted to put a little sample in there. That was from Roy Rogers. There was a vinyl restoration on that one. And the music is... Oh, the music. It's classic. It's old western. It's pure. It's one thing when you're riding down the highways and you listen to that music. I had battled with my brother concerning about the driving situation, as I said before. He wanted me to be his co-pilot. But I never could get into the idea of truck driving. I could, if I was physically fit for the thing, and if I actually decided to choose to go that route. But I'd be chasing my brother's dream, because my brother's dream was being a truck driver. He claimed he had diesel fuel in his bloodstream. Two things he wanted to accomplish in his life was being being a United States Navy SEAL, and which he did. And the second one was being a truck driver, which he accomplished as well. And he had to go through a lot of things just to go through, get get both those dreams going. He wanted to share his dream with me of driving down the highways. He knew I liked doing side saddle, but he knows I was afraid of getting behind the wheel. He kept telling me that if I got good enough, I wouldn't have to be afraid of it. If I got good enough, I wouldn't have to be afraid of it. I was not good enough. I was constantly afraid of it. Driving down through the streets of San Fernando Valley was terrifying enough as it is. These guys go through red lights like crazy and barrel assing through streets. They're supposed to be 35 miles per hour and they're going about 50. And then you got the cops going through, and not to mention the paramedics you had to watch out for. And if that wasn't bad enough, you also had to watch out for the damn pedestrians as well at the same time. And if that wasn't fun, then you really had to deal with let's say the ferries coming out and wanted to have fun with you in the car. Yeah, no thank you. We get out here in the Antelope Valley, figures it might be a hell of a lot safer. Wrong. Speed limit's a hell of a lot faster, about 40 to 45 in certain areas. Palmdale, Lancaster. In between the areas are about 50. 50? Holy crap. Get into the unincorporated areas where there's almost hardly no houses at all, and you're going faster than hell. Not even on the damn freeway. Just on surface streets. If you're lucky, if you're not flying all over the damn place or crashing into another building, or there won't be any buildings out there anyway, or at least another driver that's not paying attention. And a big traffic accidents out in the non-incorporated areas, in the deeper areas. Closer to the center of the cities, well, it's just as bad. They still don't pay attention, and they're racing through the lights, and they're racing through the streets, and they still hit people, and hit cars, and trucks, and cycles, and everything else. So it gets crazy. Despite that, my brother was adamant, and so was my mother, of getting me trained on the open road. So by the time we got out here and it got settled a little bit, my brother and my mother hatched a plan. They're going to get me riding. They're going to get me driving. So, with driver's license still stuck in my wallet, I didn't realize that my brother was going to be putting me through driver's hell again. I'd have to navigate my way through the damn streets just to get back home. Only because there are going to be certain times when I'm going to have to be driving myself home. I can drive the car over to the bus stop, or actually to the train stop between Palmdale and other places. I mean, we do have bus stops and we do have train stops. Express buses going from the Antelope Valley in different portions. And where I was working at the time, it was the western end of the San Fernando Valley. No trains, but just bus. And at this bus is the transportation center. Open as long as the buses were going through, and so is the train. In order for me to get over there, they want me to drive. It's a short, simple drive. Early in the morning, hardly any traffic, except going on the 14 freeway when you see all the damn truckers going, and all the other commuters. But on the surface streets, there's no jam packed. No one's screaming and yelling at you. Easy. So damn easy, I'm still shaking about it just talking about the damn thing. Not very fun. Not very fun. So the initiation was between Roseman and Palmdale. Well, let's see. Actually, I should say between Lancaster and Roseman, there's a nice 7-8 mile stretch. So in order for me to get my driving going and to get loose about it, it takes me over to a corner, to one of the stops over there, and we pull over. He gets out and goes on my door and says, "Okay, your turn." "What?" "Your turn." "What do you mean my turn?" "You're driving us home." "No, I'm not. We're not going anywhere." "Let me guess, you and Ma decided to do this, right?" "Yep." "Come on, John. Time's wasting. So's gas." "Fine, I'll turn the engine off." Turns the engine off. "You're still driving home." I was lucky enough that the vehicle we were driving was a van. 2000, 2001, 2002. Not bad for a Chevy. Passenger van. It's high enough where I can see what's in front of me, and I can see if there's going to be any obstacles coming my way. Stubby enough where I didn't have to worry about running right into a car or anything. Big enough so we can put our stuff in Ma's wheelchair and scooter in there if needed. At the time, she was getting a scooter. It was a little bit later down the road that we had to get a wheelchair for her. But during that time, we had a scooter. The only thing I could do is sweat like crazy, sit behind the car for about a minute or two and pray like a son of a bitch. My brother was turning on the radio. Says, "Come on, relax." "Dave, I'm not relaxing." What do I hear coming up out here? He likes rock and roll. But apparently, somehow we got cowboy music on there. And I think it was appropriate at the time that hearing that music, I know, brought back Smokey in the band with all the jumps and all the hoopla going in the damn thing. But it was a calming, soothing enough voice I'm hearing. That doesn't mean I was going to be driving like this, like my brother would. Well, actually, he'd be driving it like this, or he'd be driving like this, with the arm out the window, and he's got the hand on the wheel, and he's comfortable as hell, and he's smoking a cigarette, and he's drinking a Coke. He'll shift hands to do something, and he'll shift hands again. Mostly he'd be getting a suntan in this area here. They call it a trucker's arm, because this arm would be stuck out in the window too much. This arm would always be lighter than this. And if you notice, this is a little slightly darker than this because I kept my hand out like this mostly. I'm a shotgun, okay? Well, not this time. I'm driving and I'm paying attention. Will you relax? I am relaxed. John, relax. I am relaxed. Shut up. The trick about driving is you have to keep your eyes moving all over the damn place and it drives you crazy. You just can't be staring fixed because you miss what's happening in your surrounding things. Me, I'm moving my eyes so I can try covering what's around here. I'm not moving my head. My eyes are just moving. I can see the spot. I can tilt the head down and see the speedometer. I'm looking around and I'm trying to see if I'm going to have any traffic. Not to mention paying attention to one mirror up here, another mirror over here, another mirror over here. My God, how the hell you folks drive, I don't know. But that's how it was driving. Well, I should get home in one piece. He's happy, he's beaming, he's talking to Mom about that. They're celebrating. I'm going to the bathroom to throw up. How do you feel? Ah, come on, John, it's not that bad. Toilet flushes. Again. You didn't eat that much. Tell that to my stomach. But it was, I guess it was necessary for me to get used to driving. Because I told myself I would be the emergency relief driver. And if there'd be times for me to drive, it'd be an emergency. So I would have to know how to drive. I just wouldn't have to like the damn thing in the first place. But the experience did start off, and I did get a little bit of nerve, but not enough of it to drive in the streets. I decided not to drive again. My brother was doing more of the driving at home, so I said, hell with it. I really didn't have an interest in driving, still. But that's the thing about living in the state of California. In order to get to point A and point B, you need transportation. You need your own transportation, whether it be a two-wheeler, or a three-wheeler, or a four-wheel. Hell, it could have been a fifth wheel. But out here, driving is necessary. For the pedestrians who are not able to get the coveted vehicles, and not to mention deal with all the expenses concerning about the car or the vehicle, such as maintenance costs, fuel costs rising left and right, insurance rates, registration, licensing fees. That's a lot of money to shell out just to get transportation for yourself. But welcome to California. Now, if you're not able to get such coveted transportation and able to afford such luxury, may we introduce the two-legged situation. Your left leg and your right leg. Walk. Walk to the nearest bus stop and hope that you've got the bus information with you. Because otherwise you're going to be waiting for a long time for that next bus. Depending on where you're going. Depending on where you are. Welcome to Pedestrian Life 101. That's how it is for this kid. Before we got into the apartment here, we managed to kill off the van we managed to kill off another vehicle we had gotten. We're car killers. We don't take care of the car enough. We don't give it enough water, enough oil. We keep feeding it plenty of gas, but we don't take care of the rest of the fluids that keeps the car healthy. No, we're car killers. We killed the car. We make sure that there is a driver rod ready to go through the damn car if necessary. If it popped out. And it did. And we screwed up the damn station wagon we had one time. So, we're car killers. Just don't let me near your car. I might kill it. But that's okay. These days I don't have to worry about that. I've got an ID card. A state-issued ID card with an ugly mugshot on it going, well, it's better than doing this. I'm sure the people over at the DMV would have appreciated that kind of look. You ever noticed that over the DMV? Department of Motor Vehicles. Before the COVID situation happened over here, we had crowds galore. Make new buildings or reconsolidate other functions and other offices in other cities to make sure everything's centralized and more chaotic. Same thing happened to the Antelope Valley. We had, must have been about 2 or 3 places, and we consolidated it into one nightmare in Elm Street. And when we got the building up and running, it still became a nightmare because the lines are still freaking long. Before that, we had a small office out in Lancaster where the truck drivers would go to get their testing going. They want to make sure that they're going to be testing on the freeway and driving like crazy, not to mention in the surface streets. And since they were close by to a CHP office, they get graded that way. But no, they shut down that office because we have to have the one in Lancaster that would fit both Lancaster and Palmdale. And Palmdale was hiding somewhere, and we don't know where the hell it was. But now we've got one office. It's still a nightmare in Elm Street. Now the COVID-19 comes in and changes everything else around. Which means all the surfaces we had to touch like crazy, and close quarters had to be spaced out, and rules had to be made. Safety rules and stuff. To the point that up to this date, now they're putting the testing online, which means you can go on the website and get your test done for the DMV for a driver's license without going into the damn office. But I suppose you still got to go into the office anyway. They're taking the fun out of the paperwork. You remember the paperwork that we actually had to study? Scantron bubbles we had to fill out like crazy. Not to mention the booklets that they keep handing out with the stacks of them over here. One for truckers, and the other one's for drivers, and the other one's foreign languages. And you'd see those stacks in the DMV. And you'd see the old numbers that people would have to pull out the tickets and sit in the uncomfortable chairs, and on a hot summer day, everyone's getting drinks from the local stores, come back, and hopefully that they didn't get called. They needed to stay there all day and camp out to get their stuff taken care of. Those were the days. You fill out the damn test. You get the bubbles all done right. You get so many times and so many chances to get the test done right. And by the time you do that, you're like, okay, you passed. Now they can just wait over here for the driver's training. I gotta have an instructor here. You have to have me tested. I just came in for the written test. Can we reschedule for another time? Oh, well, I suppose we can. Thank you. Run. Run in panic. Run in fear. You don't know who the hell you're going to be getting for an instructor there. Actually, for the grader. Grade you on everything. And they weren't exactly the most personable, I'll tell you that much. I had to be tested like that a long time ago. Back in the 80s, 1980s. The old-fashioned type. The paperwork that fill out the bubbles. The handy books that told you what, if you're driving right or you're driving left or you're driving all over the damn street. What's acceptable, what wasn't acceptable. And then the personality-dependent person who needed to get personality transfusions into this person in order to be a human being. Otherwise, Mr. Such and Such, I'm your grader. Let's get this test going. What's the first thing you do? Hail Mother, full of grace. I suppose we have to get through that. What's the next step? I gotta get inside the car? Well, that'd be appreciated. Come on, I got 20 more people I gotta grade. Now, what you gotta do next? Well, I gotta do this and I gotta do that. Well, let's get on with it. Okay. And you're at the mercy of them. Drive straight ahead. Now make a right. Okay, now make another right. We're going to be in some surface streets here. Still looking at the damn thing. You're veering a little bit. You're not even looking. I don't have to. I know the streets. It helps when you have a smart-ass inspector there trying to grade you on something. You're driving in real time here. He's looking at the damn sheet of paper. You're looking to see whether or not you're going to get nailed or not, if there's going to be anything coming at you or not, if you're going to be running into another child or something like that, or running into a basketball or something. When it comes down for driving in smaller streets, that was the problem right there. But the larger streets and the larger ones, let's see if we can do this parking here. We need you to do a 3-point parking. The driver's worst nightmare. My worst nightmare. Drive up to it. Then, very nice. See if we can get out of here now. You're just not satisfied with everything, are you? Well, we're at a time clock. Come on. Driving back over to the damn DMV. Like, what was that you're saying? No, I'm just muttering to myself right now. Get back in the DMV, one piece, and you're like, down, boy, down. You chew on his leg yet. Congratulations, you've missed about maybe 2 points off of 10 points. You barely passed, but you do get your license. I get my license? Yes, you have to come in now. Okay. Which means you have to go over to the worst spot ever. Hi there! You survived! Come over here! I need for you to smile at the camera. You're not smiling at the camera. Why are you not smiling at the camera? Smile, damn it! This is your lucky day! You just survived getting the driver's license at this point over here. The least thing that you could do is show the DMV in the state of California that you actually graced us with your presence here. And you survived the place, and you should smile for that. Smile! Somewhere in there's a smile. At this point, I'm like, that'll do, click. That'll be on your permanent record. Can't even change the damn mugshot for all eternity. You're stuck with the damn thing. Unless, of course, you're still just wanting to do just a prison look. Just click. Okay. And now you're stuck with that for all eternity on your ID and everything else. Well, now that you got your driver's license, now what you gonna do? Let's see if we can lose it just yet. Hey, there's the tester right now. My car hasn't gone through demolition derby in a hell of a long while. I haven't seen this guy in a hell of a long while, but I know that look in his face. Until next time, I'm going to have me roller derby today. Demolition derby!